What's up everyone, VenomHG here, and today we'll be going over how to speedrun Tails' story in Sonic Adventure DX. This series will be geared to both players just starting out with the game and players that are looking for the most up-to-date skips. Tails, I'd say, is one of the easier stories to start with, but harder to master at the higher ranks. He's got some of the shortest levels in the game. He can be run in both free and auto cam, and to achieve max speed, you just have to fly in a straight line. That's it. But as I mentioned earlier, since Tails has gotten so optimized recently, it becomes much harder improving your PBs. High level strats require precise movement, multiple tight skips, and ice cap. Just fuck ice cap, man. Keeping it short and sweet, either run on an Xbox or PlayStation controller. Any series of these controllers are good enough. They're more comfortable to spam with, which you need to run most stories in this game. And there's no stick notches, which makes holding correct angles way easier compared to GameCube controllers. Some runners prefer to run with GameCube controllers, but they have shaved notches for this reason. All these tricks will work on any system, besides Dreamcast, since it's a separate game. But come here, let me tell you something. Do not run this game on Steam. Everything between the frame rate to the controls are much worse on Steam compared to the PC disc version. Legally, I can't link the game directly to this video, but I'll have a link down in the description to the Sonic Adventure community Discord, where someone will be more than happy to assist you. And with that out of the way, let's jump straight into the guide. Jet ankles! First thing we have to do is get the jet anklets. These allow Tails to fly even faster than he normally would. Fly to the sewers and fly over the water as best as you can, since the water slows you down drastically. Land directly underneath the square hole, fly up and hold up left into the jet anklet room. From here, you can either go back out through the sewers to the train station, or you can clip out of the anklet room. If done perfectly, both methods are about equal in terms of time, but come on, you know you want to clip out. To clip out after you pick up the jet anklets, do a fast flight into the top right corner of the room. Align Tails' toes with the fourth circle on the ground, and then fly up and out to the train station. Do a full jump and fly over the railing into the train and fly to your first hurdle of the run. Egg Hornet. Start by picking up some rings and flying back as far as possible. This will make Egg Hornet shoot at the back of the stage, allowing him to dive down to the ground faster. When he's done shooting, fly towards the fences, but give enough room that you can walk behind Egg Hornet when he lands. Push up against the back of Egg Hornet, and now for the hard part. You will have to jump cancel in a specific rhythm into his back while still pushing the same direction into him. To jump cancel, just jump, and while Tails is in ball form in the air, press an action button, and he will cancel his ball form and drop to the ground. For the last hit, you want to stop jump canceling for roughly half a second, and then fly directly upwards to hit Egg Hornet as he's trying to set up for his next move. This last part is optional, but will save you up to a second. If you miss one cycle, you'll lose up to 20 seconds just from that. Again, this is one of Tails' main hurdles in the run, so you want to dedicate a lot of your practice just to this trick. Now you want to fly to Tails' house, jump cancel when you land in front of the keystone, and then pick it up. For some reason, jump canceling before you pick up the keystone makes it easier to pick up. I don't know. Run down the first set of stairs, and then run down the right side of the wall. Parkour! Right before you're at the keystone holder, jump around here, and press an action button in the air above the key holder. This will help reduce the amount of time the keystone floats in the air for, which saves a good chunk of time. Windy! Start the level by holding right trigger and aiming bottom left, timing a jump press as you gain control of Tails, and immediately hold the action button after to descend to the ground faster. Once you hit the ground, jump off of the stage and fly over the fence. Position yourself just a bit to the left where the bright clouds are and keep going straight. If done correctly, after around the 2-second mark IGT, you should be over the invisible wall. Then hold down the action button to fall faster. You want to keep holding the action button and align yourself over the little break in the clouds here. For this section, you'll have to dodge some kill planes, but in this clip, I will show you what these kill planes actually look like. When your in-game timer is at the 8-second mark, or a little after depending how fast your movement is, either hold the left trigger or move your stick upright, aligning Tails to the right side of the big break in the clouds. From here, do a few quick releases of the action button to extend Tails' horizontal distance and fast fall to the end of the level. Once you practice this enough, this should be a free level. After Windy, you want to fly out of the tunnel and land on this piece of land with full glide momentum. Do a semi-full jump and fly directly into the first open train door. From here, take advantage of Tails' fast falling down to the top of the stairs and then to the bottom of the stairs. Hit the casino button, fast fall, and quick glide into the casino where we feed Tails' gambling addiction. Be casino right back. Right at the start, you'll notice there will be a black screen that doesn't happen for any other level in the game. During this time, if you spam the jump button, you can actually start the stage out flying instead of having to wait for Tails to drop. Note this is only doable when the finish line is a Chaos Emerald. Doing this in trial with the capsule will not work. There's two ways to go from here. You can either go up through the middle of the level, fly through the door, and then simply walk through this little crack in the wall, which will get you on average 10.5 to 12 second times. Or you can fly up to the vents here, line yourself up between the left set of bolts, and clip through the top of the vent, flying to the end. At first, the second method may seem slower to you, but with this clip and perfect movement, you can get on average 8 to 11 second times, making it the more optimal route. After, you'll see the ice key spawn in. Ignore it. Head up the stairs on the left and into the train. From here, you can either fly directly into the tunnel where there's a mini invisible wall at the top that'll hold you back a bit, or you can fly over to the right and clip through this rock into the tunnel, which will save you up to a second. When you spawn in, hold right trigger and do a fast flight to the left. Depending on your clip distance, you should see a couple strands of grass. Aim yourself so you run up the side of the tunnel past the grass and hold upright. Eventually, you'll clip right through where you can fly into the ice cap tunnel. If you don't end up clipping but you're stuck in the crack, there's a safe strat where you can just jump and you'll jump through the ceiling of the tunnel. As you can see, walls are optional. Fly into the middle part of the ladder and get ready for pain. This is one of the 2 levels in the entire game where you're forced to snowboard, and the snowboard controls on their own are very tricky to deal with at first. This is the other major hurdle of Tails' story. Spend most of your practice here, as this is the split where you know if you'll PB or not. Firstly, you want to hold down and an action button the entire time to get the most speed possible from snowboarding. Hug the wall to your right, and at around 12 seconds, cut over to the left side of the wall. The goal here is to have as little airtime as possible. Now here's the first ice cap clip. Hold up instead of down since you switched camera angles, and make sure you're lined up so you are passing the speed pad on your right. Next, you want to jump and turn to the left just before the ground goes downhill. Hold up from here and you should be lined up perfectly to clip through the wall. There are slightly faster ways to clip through this wall without jumping and using the bottom of the giant ice block as a visual cue, but this jump setup makes the clip much more consistent since you have time to adjust your angle properly. Next, land on the ground still holding forward and an action button. Do a jump onto the ramp and jump as far up and left of the ramp as possible. This will allow you to do a super jump, shooting you past another ramp, saving at least 7 seconds. This second clip I recommend for more intermediate to advanced players, since this is a much more high risk, high reward clip, given the distance you have to travel after the super jump. While you're in the air from the super jump, start tapping and holding down on the left stick to land on the right side of the hill. Then aim left down the hill and aim for the last 2 rings. You'll now be angled directly where you need to clip. Hold up on the left side of the hill and you want to aim directly in this spot of the wall and turn a bit right as you're hitting it, since the gap to clip isn't in the center of this wall. If you're Giga Chad and you clip cleanly through this wall, you'll be able to land on top of the ledge where the ramp is. Keep holding up and an action button towards the bit of ramp peeking through the snow and jump where the nose of the board is over this part. Once you get airtime from the ramp, immediately start holding down till you'll land back on the same ramp and jump off the ramp again. This will greatly increase your speed in the air. Then, if you're lucky, you'll land smoothly to the next ramp where you will jump off at the very top and fly directly to the end of the level. The reason why I say if you're lucky is what can happen is Tails will land and then do a hop right before the ramp. If he hops, you will not get the super jump. If you want to play this safe, you can decrease the amount of airtime you get from the first ramp to be able to jump onto the second ramp and jumping at the top right or left corner to clear this next ledge. If you didn't clip cleanly, you'll either have enough speed to make the stage but not the ledge, or you'll have no speed and fall right through the whole stage, which doesn't have kill planes, so you're falling indefinitely. But if you made the ledge, go down the left side of the stage and cross over to the right under that last cliff where speed pad is. This will lose you roughly 5 seconds compared to landing on the ledge, but I mean, it's ice cap. Now what do we do? Wedge yourself into this corner, neutral stick, and fly straight up. Jump off the top of the tunnel and fly into the wind tunnel. Starting off, you want to do a quick glide towards Knuckles and then spam the action button when you're on the ground to either roll or tail whip. Run against his back and wait for the invincibility frames to wear off to then tap the action button. Then just rinse and repeat. Pretty straightforward, boss. Stay flying in the air when he's about to attack, and he will always do a splash attack, which is the fastest move he can use. You can manipulate where Chaos 4 goes by timing your landing on the lily pad so that his last destination before he rises would be either under you or in front of you for the easiest hit setups. Afterwards, hold left trigger and start flying bottom right towards Tails' house for the most intense, anxiety-inducing, absolute maniacal level the developers designed for this game. Wedge Tails upright. That's it. Go get some snacks, go to the bathroom.
Go to the bathroom!
Not yet. Oh yeah, hold jump or an action button at the end to skip ring collection screen the fastest way. Afterwards, you want to hold up left and fly into the cart. Then fly to the left side of the forest.
Wow!
Sand doors take too long, so let's skip waiting for it. Fly up through the tunnel and land on top of the switch. From anywhere on the switch, neutral stick, fly straight up, and then slightly nudge your stick upwards. From here, fast descend into the loading trigger to start up our next snowboarding section. Same as Ice Cap, but with no clips. Hold up and an action button down throughout the entire level, just like Ice Cap. This first part, you want to aim for the left side of the boost pad in order to immediately turn left into the next boost pad after. From here, cut to the right side as there's an extra speed pad going this way as opposed to going straight, which saves around a second. And, just like Ice Cap, you want to remain on the ground as much as you possibly can. If you notice a slope transition that you might get air on, aim towards the slope at an angle. Sometimes, getting airtime is just unavoidable, but going at an angle will reduce the odds of it happening. Aim for the right path and hit the boost. Sup! This boost right here can very easily kill your run if you hit it wrong. Try to be as centered to the boost and angled right enough so you don't run into this rock. Hitting this rock will lose you at least 4 to 5 seconds. Next, skip the cutscene and fly to the left to pick up the rhythm badge. You'll never really use this, but you need this to progress. And look at that drip. Fly from here to Tikal at the bottom of the stairs. Hold up and fly to Tails' house for everyone's favorite level.
No! God, please, no! 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 No!
At the end, we'll be fighting the egg carrier. To start, hold jump and an action button. You want to be ready to lock onto the missile launchers before the egg carrier doors open. I like to spin in a circle here, so I'll already be set up when the fight starts. Wait until the doors are about halfway open before you start obliterating your action button shooting into him. This makes it so when you kill the egg carrier, the doors will be only inches apart from each other, shortening the travel distance and saving time. And boom! Now you're on the egg carrier. Fly right and skip the cutscene. This next cutscene you cannot skip. Don't press anything here. Don't do it! Skip more cutscenes, fly towards the door, to then skip another cutscene. But this cutscene, you can actually move a bit during the end of it. This means you can move fast enough to walk into Skydeck while the cutscene's ending. But don't do it. Don't do it! This will run the risk of soft locking the game. Just skip the cutscene, go through the door fast, but not too fast. We're not Sonic here. This is the stage where proper Tails movement matters the most. While you're waiting to get shot out, you can hold left on the stick and left trigger to preemptively set yourself up to go left. From here, jump and fly to the next spinning cylinder on the right, then jump and fly to the speed pad. Note, you can skip needing to fly to the second cylinder by doing a semi-full jump, fly fast and descend on top of the first cylinder, and flying in between the second set of cylinders to land on the platform. But this is pretty hard to get if you're a new runner and will only save at most a second of time. Hit the right side of the speed pad as straight as possible and tap the action button on the way up to go into ball form. We're aiming for Tails to roll through the tunnel without breaking ball form, which will happen if you hit the speed pad at an angle. We want to be on the right side to give us more opportunity to jump over the next speed pad. If done right, you'll have full rolling momentum in the air and will be able to fly to the side of the nut. Land on the nut while keeping full flight momentum, and this will reset your fly so you can continue holding jump here. Fly up and around to the last ledge with an arrow on it. You want to land a bit in front of the arrow, but be careful here. If you try to land while you're holding forward, the stage will reverse your direction and you will be sent backwards. To avoid this, you want to neutral stick the landing and very quickly tap and hold jump to fly and retain most of your momentum you lost in the neutral stick. From here, fly up to this part of the platform, and yes, you can clip through these railings, don't worry about them. Then hold right trigger and full jump fly right onto the capsule at the end. From here, simply fly upright to the spinny egg platform. In auto cam, when you spawn in, your cam will be below you and under the ledge, making this movement way harder than it needs to be. Gamma Fight is the same deal as Knuckles. Start with a quick glide and roll into him. Stay near him and hit him the moment the invincibility frames wear off. What I like to do personally is for the last 2 hits to take advantage of the rhythm badge and spin in place right next to him. This sets me up for the fastest hit possible. Now you gotta race the speed demon Eggman. Tails doesn't like the ground though, so we'll piece the fuck out and fly off the right side. Fly to this helicopter launching pad, jump off the pad, and fly to the next building. From here, fly over this dome and descend into the green speed ring. Hit the speed pad and start rolling while holding an up left angle in order to hit both speed pads and be able to fly off the right side of the track. Fly into this green bit on the pole to reset your fly, like we did off the nut in Skydeck, and fly to the set of rings conveniently in the shape of an arrow. Fly to the end of the ledge and then hit the green speed rings to the end of the level. And that's it. That's the end of Speed High. You thought I wasn't going to talk about it, didn't ya? The one reason you're considering to run Tail Story. Gravity glitch. Alright, so we fly off the right side like we did before, but this time we'll be aiming for the green speed rings to the left. Once you hit the first ring, hold an action button all the way through and descend into the speed pads. As soon as you're about to fly off the ramp, hold a little more up than left, hold the jump button and the right trigger all at the same time. Rotate your stick a bit more to the left and you'll notice Tails is gravity shifting. When Tails is at about a 45-degree angle, quickly release jump and the right trigger and then hold left trigger and an action button. If done correctly, you will descend at an angle through the building. Before you go too low, start tap releasing the action button and release the left trigger. From here, just keep tapping the action button and holding your left stick at that up left angle the entire way through. You'll fly right through the next set of buildings. If you manage to keep the glitch past this point, you're home free. This glitch saves you at most 3 seconds from the previous route, but there's a lot of things that can, and will, go wrong with this glitch. If you jump off the ramp in ball form, you jump too early. If Tails stalls in the air, you jump too late. If your angle breaks immediately, you're not angling your stick correctly, or are pressing one of the inputs late, or you're moving your stick too quickly. If you're descending and bonking off the building, you're descending too early. If you're still having issues, I've linked other gravity glitch tutorials in the description below. For this boss, I'll be talking more generally about, since this tutorial is already way over my estimate time. Luckily, the Banana Overlord Niczur has made an amazing tutorial over Eggwalker that I will link in the description that I highly advise watching if you're still having issues with this boss. While the boss is loading in, you can hold upright and quick glide straight to the boss. When you see yourself, wrap around his legs and set up in position right in front of his toes. Before I go further, I need to mention the most key button you need to understand to do this boss right, and that is the Y button, or triangle for PlayStation players. Yes, the one button we have never used this whole run, in this whole game, and you need to master it for this boss. Basically, the game developers left a debug button that resets Eggwalker's position on Y. This can make him fall down faster and will also help Eggwalker to land where he's supposed to land, which I'll talk about later. When Eggwalker is about to slam his leg down, press Y, jump into the glowing circle on his foot, and fly into the Eggwalker. You want to land and stand in front of his feet, spamming Y to make Eggwalker launch faster. Once he launches, stop spamming Y. When he's in the air, you have to press Y one time when his shadow is around the middle of the stage. This will ensure he lands where he's supposed to and not back on top of you. For the next hit, do the same thing as the first hit. From here on out, you cannot make him fast fall anymore. Also, if you fly to Eggwalker too fast, he'll piece the fuck out, so keep that in mind. Hit the 2 legs normally and fly up into him. Stand between his feet, and when he starts to get back up, start running downwards and spamming Y. Again, stop when he launches and press Y once when the shadow's above the middle of the stage. Do this 2 more times, and that'll be the end of Tail Story. This was originally supposed to only be 10 minutes. but this is my main category, so I wanted to give all the information I know to all of you in hopes to see more insane runners out there running this very underrated story. Minus sky chases.
No!
Thank you all so much for making it to the end of this video. This is the first time I've ever made something like this before, so let me know in the comments if this guide has helped you, and maybe I'll make more tutorials over other stories in the future. Shout out TheAlphaDolphin and Yoshipuff, two amazing top level Tails runners that without all of them, I wouldn't have been able to finish this video. So give them all a follow, links down below. And that's it for me. Good luck to all you future Tails runners. Until next time.